Obviously you need to get your caravan onto your pitch. Obviously you're using the car, unlike you'd be pushing, even though it is a small caravan, it's probably still better to be, because it all depends on what surface you're on, it can still be quite heavy, even if it's empty. Obviously like it is at the moment, it's empty, but once you've got your stuff in,
yes,
quite a weight to
be
be
heavier, yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, so get it onto the pitch, just check to see if it's level side to side first. So if you're on the hard standing surface, normally they're quite level side to side.
Right.
Obviously on grass it could be any other. Right, so check to see if it's level before you take it off the car. What you may need to do is lift one side or the other if it's obviously down on that side. So if say it was down on this side, which is slightly because of the floor level, you'd want to lift this wheel up by parking it on top of a block, or you can get these plastic ramps. Okay.
Yes.
So the best thing to do is just push it, reverse it slightly further back than where you actually want it.
Yes.
Just be careful. There's obviously no bollard right at the back of your pitch. If you're going to demolish that, as you,
yes,
you're not going to be popular with the warden. So take it so far back, put the block in front of the wheel, and then use the car to pull it on.
Right.
Okay. It's better than trying to reverse it. If you reverse it, it's got actually brake system on the caravan. You start pushing backwards, it actually applies the brake for that
yes,
seconds
yes,
before it moves.
Okay, so pull it on to raise it.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it.
We've got two little wedges that we brought.
They're to stop you
to stop them rolling.
Oh, this is something different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's to increase the height of the one side or the other, whichever's lowest.
Right.
Okay. You can get these ramps that are about so long, and they can go up to about that height.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can use wooden blocks. Up to you.
Right.
Spirit level also useful.
Yes, I do have one at home.
Yeah.
Yep.
The other thing, obviously, the reason why we level it is because obviously you want drainage.
Yes.
If you've got the sink like that and there's plug holes up here,
yes,
it's just going to sit in the sink. It's not going to go down the hole. No. Same with your shower. It's just going to run to one side or the other. Yeah. Okay. Also, the fridge doesn't like being on an angle. If you're trying to run that on gas, it doesn't like being on an angle. Okay. So once you level it side to side, then get the handbrake on. Get the car, unattach the car from the caravan. Get the car, obviously make sure the cables and breakaway cables are unattached.
So handbrake, go on then, just talk us through that.
Handbrake is just pull on. So that's off. Does it assist? It does assist on. So that's it, handbrake on.
Right.
I'll show you how to connect it and disconnect it off the caravan after.
Okay.
So all you do is just wind it up off the car. Then you want to obviously get the car out of the way. Then level it front to back.
Yes.
Compressor is just making a noise now. So to level it front to back, just use the jockey wheel, lifting the nose or lowering the nose.
I see, yes,
Again,
okay.
spirit level, just to get it as close as you can.
Yep.
Once you've done that...
So spirit level just sort of sit in on a flat surface in the van?
Surface. I tend... I don't know if this one's got one or not. Sometimes people put a spirit level on that surface there.
Yes.
Obviously you can see that, it's not so bad from this angle.
Yeah.
I've got a spirit level, I tend to put it in the doorway, but my doorway is like halfway down the van, so...
right, yes, I see.
how level it is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so once you've done that, then you can start bringing the steadies down. So you've got your one handle there. So there's one on either side. So you just wind it down. Okay, it takes a while with this. So I'll just show you, I've got a drill attachment, because obviously we do a lot of legs up and down. So if you've got a DIY drill at home, or a cordless drill,
right, okay.
you can purchase one of these.
Right.
And it's a lot quicker. Because obviously we're doing that every day. You'll be there hours with winding.
Is it a good idea to have those flats?
You can do. You can have just pieces of wood, or you can have the ones that, like this one here, has got it permanently attached. Look. So it's in lines with it. And obviously that just, especially if you're on a grass pitch, obviously it can sink. Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not there for lifting the van, so don't think you can level the van by lifting it, putting all the pressure on the legs to lift it.
Right.
The likelihood it's going to, obviously the legs are right at the far corners. The chassis is going to be doing a bit of that if you try and do that.
Right. Okay. So level it first, and then then use those.
What I tend to do then is once I put them down, just do that. If you see there's still a bit of movement, just give it a little bit more of a tweak.
Right.
Just to make sure it's rock steady. Okay. Always make sure you've got at least one leg down at the back before you get in. Otherwise, you'll be looking at the up at the client.
I think you're saying something about our weight, Isabel.
I wasn't mentioning anything about that. On the one small caravan, I don't know if it's slightly smaller than this, I crawled in, thought, I'll be alright.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. The small ones tend to be a bit more lighter, so they tip up. The heavier vans, they don't tend to do too much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Once you've done that, obviously there's leg points at the back as well. Once you've done all them, then obviously you're ready then to start connecting the services.
So where's the wind-up bit for these?
Yeah, so they're there, look. So you got what?
Oh yes, I see. Yeah.
One on the side
Okay.
at the back, then the front ones are to the side.
Yes, I see. Okay.
So then what you could be doing, obviously first obviously you'd be probably getting stuff out your gas locker anyway, is get the, maybe getting the Akrol, or the Akrol might be actually inside. Turn the gas on. To connect the gas, I've got our gas on at the moment. Just waiting for the starter pack. So all you have is a connection here. Previously you probably had if you've used gas before, you had a regulator that's actually attached to the bottle itself.
Yes, I think that's right.
This is different. The Caravan actually has a regulator attached to it now.
Oh yes, I see.
You just have a pigtail which will come in your starter pack, and all you need to do is attach it to the gas bottle is there. So when you're changing gas bottle, all you do is change it. So it's a reverse Fred. So if you've heard that saying righty tighty, lefty loosey, it's not that, it's the other way around. So it's righty loosey, lefty tighty, which can be rather confusing. So if you remember, it's reversed from the normal bolt.
Yes.
Yeah. And obviously make sure it is tight.
Right.
You don't want any gas leaking. Then all you do is just turn the gas on by. It all depends what gas I'm assuming you're
Will
getting.
it be
propane.
tight enough just with your? You don't need.
No, you need a spanner.
You
will
do
need a spanner. Yeah, definitely on that type.
Right.
Unless they supply the one which is the hand tight one, which has got a seal on it. But more than likely it's going to be your spanner type one.
And we get a gas bottle in the starter pack?
Yeah, you should do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if it needs a spanner would come with it.
No.
No.
You need
Right.
to purchase one. And
Okay.
We tend to use an adjustable which is big enough to fit that there, or you can just get a gas spanner, which I've got at home. You can get a really cheap one. It costs pence. It's just that size, and you just keep it with the gas bottle in.
Yes.
It all depends also how much gas you're using. If you're using a hell of a lot of gas, you'll be changing it all the time. But if you're not, something like that will probably last all season.
Right.
But
Okay.
obviously, it all depends on how you use
Of course,
how
yeah.
you're using the caravan. If you're going on sites that haven't got electric, you're going to be using a lot more gas.
Yes,
For
of
heating,
course, yeah.
Water heating, fridge, things like that. Okay, so you can probably open that up. You can be turning the gas on. Someone might be inside. Go put the kettle on while you're doing the rest of the stuff, if you're lucky. Water in. So if you can see there, obviously we've snapped that off when I was opening it up. We've got a new one to put on, so that'll be put on. Obviously, it's got after a while, plastic just gets a bit brittle and it's just broken it off. So you'll get a complete new one of them, which you can see there. So water in. So what you've actually the water pump is on board. Obviously, you've got your Akrol, which will be part of your starter pack. You can see this pipe. It's got a tendency to want to do that when you store it. Obviously, if you store it in your sink. So just be careful when you put it in the Akrol, because it might still want to do that. Okay, if it's doing that inside the Akrol, likely it's just going to draw the air out the top of it instead of the water. So just straighten it out, and just obviously slide it into your Akrol, cover over the top, and you just click in. Release it, just pull back on the trigger, and it's pulled out. Right. Okay, so obviously one of the first jobs is go and fill the Akrol. When you bring it back, obviously just plug it in. You can take the vent off the boiler. If you're going to use the boiler on gas, you need to take the vent cover off. If you use it on electric, you can leave that on. A lot of people tend to use it on electric, but it all depends on what you feel like using. If you want to use the gas, you can use
electric, you can leave it on.
Yeah, with gas, you'll have to take it off. If you forget to take it off on the gas, what it'll do is just fail to light, so it'll shut the gas off anyway. So there's no worry if you've left it on.
And this, and is this just a click mechanism?
Yeah, it just sits on the top. It just see that there, and just.
Oh, I see, and the handle underneath. Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Okay, best to have that on when you're travelling, so you don't want any
of course,
rubbish inside the vent. Right, 12 volts. Normally, I'll fit your battery after, but normally the battery will sit in there permanently inside the bag. Okay, so they normally wouldn't be sitting outside on the step like I've got. Electric connection, which is obviously this here. Right, so your electric, it's a bit difficult to show it with that there, but it will sit inside that groove there. So normally you'll feed it through there, and when you shut it, that obviously goes over the top, so it's not trapping the cable. Okay, but I've just got it there for ease of use. Always connect to the caravan first, unravel the cable fully, then attach to the bollard which you're connecting to. Don't do it the other way around. If you connect to the bollard first, you've obviously got a live cable.
Yes.
If you're walking across wet grass with that, obviously it's unthinkable what could happen, but obviously electric and water don't obviously mix. Okay. Wastewater, so you'll have your waste master which you'll sit alongside the van. All you do is just plug the pipes that come with it, and they just push into there, and you just slide them into the waste master.
Why are there two? One from the sink, one from the...
Yeah, well, you got one for the kitchen area, which is obviously just your sink, and then your bathroom, you got
and the
your
loo.
shower and your in there.
Yeah.
and the sink as well.
And that's part of the starter pack as well. That
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, that's all part of the starter pack. Okay. Next thing, obviously the front end of the caravan, the toilet end. So this is what is called the flush tank. So it's just a reservoir to hold a certain amount of water and pink chemical we normally use. That's obviously to help clean the bowl as you're flushing it.
Yes.
Obviously it makes it smell nice. The best bit obviously is this bit, which is obviously, so this is your waste tank. Okay, so for ease of carting it off to going empty, once you've got wheels and a handle. Okay, before you use it you need to put a blue chemical in. Okay, right. So normally put the blue chemical, you put it in there or put it in there.
So pink in the...
Pink in the flush tank, so blue in the loo.
Yeah.
So what you do is put roughly about that much of blue chemical in, just say on the container should do, and then just put around about pint to a litre of water in there. Okay, that's there to break down the nasty stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so when you come to, obviously that's before you use it. When you go to empty it, obviously it comes out of there. What we do is just press that, that's an air release button, so that allows it to flow out easier.
Right.
Just be careful when you go to the emptying point. Normally you can have emptying points either indoors or they might be outside. Normally what you see is a big white funnel, and obviously you don't drop that down a normal drain. It's got to be in the chemical disposal point. Usually a big white funnel with a big hole in it and a brick wall around it.
Right.
Okay, do not put that on the brick wall, because if you go and do that and knock that down the hole, you're not going to be sticking your hands down there to go and fetch that out. You probably won't be able to get it anyway.
Right.
So don't do that. Put it on the floor behind you.
Yes.
Then once you've cleaned it out, obviously you just put a bit more water in, you just slosh it around. Just don't be too vigorous, because there's a float inside there, which sends a signal to the indicator on top of the toilet system, which I'll show you, which lights up. So if when this is full, that will light up to indicate that it's full.
I see.
So if you go and thrash this around and that goes and drops down the emptying point as well, it's not going to indicate that it's full. Not that you can't see it by looking down the hole anyway. Okay?
Okay.
That just sliding. If that's not sliding out easy, then the likelihood is that the wastegate which is on the toilet has been left either open or not fully closed. So if you're getting that far, it just feels a bit stiff, push it back in, go and have a look, just make sure it's closed. It should come out freely.
Okay.
Okay. For winter, we've got this little drain here, so it just sits up on this little plastic ledge. So in the winter, drain your flush tank down. So it's the same with all water systems on the caravan. Make sure you drain them down. You can just use the flush on the toilet, and that will obviously drop it into your waste tank, but just drain the last little bit through that.
Right. Okay.
The good thing about pressing the flush pump, that's actually getting the water out the flush pump as well. So obviously that's getting all the water out that's likely to freeze. If there's any water in there, if it freezes, obviously it can damage it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I can see us coming back if we need to, and pestering Jack or.
Yeah, just be careful. It is very important that you do drain down caravans. I'll show you the drain point for the rest of the water system in a second.
Okay.
Okay. Just going around this side. Obviously, it's something you wouldn't really be doing when you get to site, but before you leave, it's always best to check your wheel nuts. Okay, it's 115 Newton meters, which is inside your handbook. I will check them before you leave, but just make sure you're checking them regularly. You definitely don't want any wheels coming off. And only having 2 wheels on the trailer, you lose one, it's obviously not going to be good. Okay, so do check them regularly. Okay. If you haven't got a torque spanner, at least just check it just with the ordinary.
There's no spare wheel like they would have with a car. There is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the slung there is a spare wheel, but if that does come off, it's going to make a mess.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're ripping all this lot off if it does come off. It shouldn't do, but just make sure you are checking regularly.
Okay, and there's the wheel nut brace.
Yeah, that's in the front there with the wiper.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Would you like to go inside then? I'll show you all the other fun things inside. Right, so the first thing is when you come into your van, if you look above my head is a control panel. So that's the first thing you would switch on. Apart from the noisy tratter that's reversing bars. Excellent. Right. So control panel. Your van works on 12 volt systems. Okay. So the first thing you do is switch your 12 volt systems on. Okay. The control panels are sleeping on it. Obviously you can see there's all sorts of things on. But if I switch that off now, actually 12 volt power's off.
Right.
Even though you can see the two lights at the front.
Yes.
They're running off electric.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're on a site with no electric,
they're going to be off anyway.
They're not going to be working yet.
Right.
Okay. So when you come in, switch your power on. Okay. The other things you've got are water pump. Don't switch that on straight away. I'll explain that in a second. Battery select. If you did have the car still attached on the site, which is very unlikely.
Yes.
You could select the battery off that, but
It's going to
you drain the battery on that and you're in trouble. And then all you've got is view levels. So if press that, that's showing the leisure battery now. So it's showing 14 volts because it's going through a charger. Normally you've got a 12 volt. It's around about 12 volts, isn't it? Alright. That light lit up there is to say you've got mains connected. That's to say you've got your leisure battery connected. Okay,
Right.
you could see the vehicle battery if that was connected as well.
Got it, I see. Okay,
Okay.
yep.
So the next thing we want to do now...
So you power on, obviously, all the time you're
Yeah.
parked up,
Yeah.
but as soon as you...
time to go home.
Yeah, time to go home, switch it off and...
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
okay.
Okay, so the first thing we tend to do when we get into the van is get your water system up and running. So if we have a look down there, we've got the drain, which is under this seat here. Cleverly hidden right in the corner. Right. Right, see that yellow lever down the corner there? So that's your boiler sitting there. The yellow lever switch down there.
yeah, the little switch
Yeah,
thing,
so what that is your drain. Okay? So in the position it's in at the moment, which is flat,
Yep,
that allows the water to run around the system. If you lift it up vertically, it will drain the water onto the ground outside. Okay, so obviously you want to do that for winter. Okay, so to drain it, lift it up to vertical, open all the taps, and that allow the water from all the water system and the boiler to drain out through that hole there.
right. So we're talking about internal water here.
Yeah, so it's
Yes,
water that's
yeah.
coming from the acrohole, will come through there, into your taps, into your hot side, into your cold side, and into your boiler. So obviously when we get into the van, if you drained it previously, just make sure it's in that position which it is now.
Yeah,
Then you
to
can get
ma-
then
to
you can get
use it.
water in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure that's shut. Next thing, make sure that your bathroom tap is shut. So obviously you've got this, which is a shower as well. So obviously that pops out. So that pops out and goes up there. If you've left that tap open to drain it, which you should do, just make sure it's shut before you switch the water pump on.
Of course,
'Cause you could end
yeah.
up with water coming pouring down through this
Yeah,
door,
yeah.
which can be a bit messy. Okay, so make sure that's tap shut. Again, make sure this tap is shut and see where the tap can go. Obviously, if you've left that in a different position by taking the bowl out and you've left it over there, and that's left open, water pump on, you're going to have
Yes.
water
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So make sure that's over the top of the sink. All the taps are shut. Then you can switch the water pump on by just pressing that button. Green light on. So the next thing you're going to do is purge the air out the system. So we do. I always operate on the cold side first. Get the water running. You should see a lot of sputtering. You'll see it in a few seconds' time. It will start sputtering. I have already primed it because I took the pipe out. You should have a bit of air still in there somewhere. There we go. So you'll see a lot of sputtering to start with. Once you've got a solid stream like that, I then turn it across to the hot side. What we're doing now on the hot side is obviously purging the hot water system, and we're also filling the hot water tank. So if you drain that, obviously we need to fill that. So open it up on the hot side. You will get a lot of sputtering for at least 2 minutes. So obviously you've got 10 litres of air, that is the container size. It's got to come out through that tap.
Right.
Okay. Once you've done that, so once you've got a solid stream like that, there's no more air coming through, you know your hot water tank's full.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Do the same with each tap. So you've only got one other one. You can hear the pump then.
Yes.
So it's pressurised. So as soon as you open it up, that releases pressure. You might get a bit of hot.
Yeah, lovely and hot. Okay.
Yeah, it's not instant. It's not instant. I've obviously had all the systems
Yes,
up and running
of course, yeah,
to check
yeah.
them. So once you've got the water into that tank, then you can heat it. Don't start putting the water heating on before you get water in because it can damage it.
Right.
Okay,
So water on, and then where is there a switch then to heat the water?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, I'm going to show you that. in a
oh
minute.
right, sorry, I'm jumping
Haven't
the
got that
gun. My
far. Haven't got that
fault.
far yet. Right, so we just open that bed base there. So it's just a drop down. If you just drop the frontage down, you just pull that handle. Right, so if you see that down here now, you've got the consumer unit. See that? So we've got some orange lights. So on the consumer unit is the one on the right, the orange light on the right, that's a switch, that's the water heater on electric. Okay? Do not leave that switched on, so if you've got no water in that boiler. If you do, it's like boiling a kettle with no water in it, it's going to damage the element.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go to leave a site, always make sure you switch that off. Okay?
Yes,
Even
yeah.
though unplugging electric, that will switch that off. Because obviously if there's no power coming into the van, that's not going
Of
to be
course.
operating. But if you've left it switched on, you get to your next site,
Yes.
you plug electric in and you haven't got water in there, the element's going to start heating up. Okay?
Yeah.
So before you go home, make sure you switch that one off. Okay? So you know you're safe. Doesn't matter about all the other ones, that is the main one that's going to damage if anything.
Okay.
Okay? What you've also got is a space heater button. What that is doing, you've got two controls on the wall here. That will put power to your heater for electric. Okay, then the next one is charger. So you make sure that's switched on. That will power. If you've obviously got electric connected, it'll
Hooked
charge
up,
your battery.
yeah.
It will charge your battery.
Yes, I see.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're on the continent, you plug electrics in. What you've got next alongside is an indicator light for the reverse polarity. So if you go on the continent, they wire things slightly different. You plug your electrics in, come in, have a look. If it's gone red or lit up, then it is reverse. You need an adapter, okay, to operate off their electrics. But you've got your trip switches there, which is obviously the electric side of it. You've also got a 12-volt system, 12-volt fuses. So it tells you there what they're connected to.
Right.
And you've also got a system shutdown button. So if you've used that system shutdown button, that shuts down all the 12-volt systems. So when you're in the storage, that obviously protects your battery.
Right.
So when you come to use the van, you need to switch that on.
Switch that on,
which
yeah.
obviously switches that on up there. Okay.
So that, in fact, would be the first thing to switch on, would it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if obviously you switch it on, if you're trying to operate this up here without switching that on,
Nothing's going to
be
happen.
happening.
No. Okay.
Okay.
And then the green and the orange light that are on now will be on all the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once you're using your van, once you've got water in, you can leave all them switched on.
Yes.
And it's thermostatically controlled, so that it will go up and down with it
Right.
with the temperature anyway.
So every time you leave the site, thinking about the water and that, you don't want to carry the water, do
No,
you? So
what I personally do is when I'm leaving, I don't drop the water on the pitch you're on, because it's obviously if it's on grass, it's hot water dropping onto that is obviously going to obviously upset the warden as well. Plus, obviously, the next person who's going to be using the pitch is not going to be happy if
Didn't
it's all
want it
flooded.
wet, no.
So what we tend to do is we drive out to the gate of the site.
yeah.
Then my wife jumps in, opens that valve there, opens all the taps, and as we're driving home, it will empty it. So that bit of movement will help it to
Right.
flow
I
out.
see. Yes. Okay.
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 But do make sure you do
So,
drain it
but-
down for winter anyway.
So that would be open anyway, though, presumably, would it? If you'd been on the site, you wouldn't have closed
No,
it.
that would be that's closed now. This is how you would be using it on the site now. So that's closed otherwise you'd be draining out underneath the van now. Right?
Right.
So it's closed as in not draining. If it was upright, that'd be draining. If you were trying to use it, it'd be draining. All the water would just going from your across straight down onto the
The
ground.
yellow one, when it's
Yeah.
horizontal, means that
It's closed. It's closed, so it's not going to
So
drain
it's
out.
open, the water's in there, but
Yeah.
you have to put it up to
Yeah.
go out.
Okay.
Yeah, and that will drain it just drop the water on the floor,
Yeah.
on the ground below you.
Yes, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. And as you say, the movement sort of almost sort of does the rocking motion to
Yeah.
get the last drips out of the
That's it. It
system.
does help to get it out. You probably have a few puzzling looks at you as you're driving along because you say, "Oh, you got water leaking."
Yes.
Right. So water heating, as we just said, on electric is that button there. If you want to operate it on gas, you can do. So you remember outside if you took the cover off. So we switch it on there for electric. You don't need to take that cover off. Okay, you can if you want, but you don't need to. Right, you've got two controls here. One, ultra heat, that's your heater, so that's controlling this here. The bottom one is ultra store. So you remember that ultra store storing your water, so your hot water tank. Ultra heat heater. Okay, so they're running on two different energies. So if I just concentrate on the ultra store for a moment. So water heating. If I want to run it on gas, turn it outer ring, that position, you see a green light.
Yep.
You hear the boiling end, just clicking.
Yep.
So that will ignite the gas in the boiler, and that'll heat your water up. Okay.
Right.
You've got a thermostat control there, so whatever's next to the green light, it's saying 70 at the moment, or 30 down to 30.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
On the electric side of it, it's just 70 degrees. That's what it's thermostat controlled at. So you can't alter that. It's just
Right.
gas if you had that on it running on its own. Okay. If you see a red light appearing there, that means the gas has failed. So it's failed to light. So if it does do that, switch it off. What you want to do then is check you have turned your gas on. You have got gas, so you could just fire your cook up, just make sure you've got gas running. And if it's none of them, so you check both of them, or obviously your cover on your boiler vent, make sure that's all off. Then give it about 30 seconds to a minute, then turn it back on again. So what it's doing then is trying to reset. What it's trying to do is purge the air out of the system.
Right.
Okay, so it might fail 2 or 3 times if you haven't used it for a while, and then it should stay lit.
Right.
Okay.
So you conventionally looking for a green light for go and a red
Yeah,
for
that's it.
stop and not
That's it,
working. Yeah.
It's just recognising what the failures are, so it's just
Yeah.
you might not even just turn the gas on.
Yes.
Which is quite easy to do. Okay. Otherwise, you can just run it on electric. The electric's pretty good anyway. That'll
Right.
give you a decent amount.
And if
Obviously,
you
that
hooked
was
up-
what that water heat was there.
Yes. Yes, that was
Yeah,
plenty
and that
hot
was
enough,
that
wasn't
was
it?
hot. It was around
Yeah.
about 70 degrees. Okay, it does take about 30 minutes or so to heat up. So it's a bit like, it's not instant heat, so as soon as you turn the tap, it's not going to warm it up. And the other thing is, obviously as you start drawing hot water off it, it starts topping up with cold water,
Yes,
so,
so-
that can reduce the temperature down quite quickly.
Yeah, so it's a bit like a thermostatic tank in
Yeah, like
in
commercial
an older
type.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
Right, so that's your water heating. That one, is, if you remember, ultra heat heater. So you switch the space heater on down here. It looks very similar to this switch, but it isn't. It is actually electric and not gas. So it says at 230 volts. It says on there. Oh, if I can just get this down without snapping my feet. Right, so space heater, that one there. So I've switched that on. I'm on to 1000 watts at the moment. You see a green light. You look again. It looks very similar. It's just to say it's operating. If I press the space heater off now, green light's disappeared. Look, even though I switched it on, there's no green light.
Yep.
Okay, so make sure you switch space heater on. You can see a green light there now.
Yep.
You've got options of 500 watts, 1000 watts, 2000 watts. So it's roughly like a 1, 2, 3 bar fire. Yeah.
Right.
Which is heating an element up beyond that fire fascia there. Okay. So obviously 2000 being the highest energy, or 2 kilowatts. Then you've got thermostat in the centre. So 9 alongside that green light, that's the highest setting, or obviously 1 being the coldest setting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need that much in England? Do you use?
It depends on what time of year you're going away, really.
Right. And say, I think we're going to be fair weather users, really.
Yeah.
Unlikely to use it through the winter much, or that.
No.
That's the plan at the minute,
Yeah.
anyway.
They are pretty efficient. You can go away most months of the year. I've been away in March with this kind of system. Obviously, you can-
Plenty warm
Come out
enough.
there as well.
yeah. So yeah, that what I'll do. You've got a fan, which I'll show you in a second.
Oh, right.
So that's heating the element up there. Okay. You can operate the heater on gas also, which is this control here. So you can see the thin part of it is what it's pointing to. Hear that now? It's clicking.
Yes.
So that's the igniter ready for the gas. All you do is just push that down, releases the gas, ticking stops because it's lit. You should be able to see down there. You just hear it go pop. So you should be able to see the flame for that window there as well. But if I took my finger off, it started clicking again. Obviously it hasn't lit. You just press and hold it a bit longer. As I said, the narrow point is the indicator. So if it's all the way around to 10, that will blast some heat out.
Right.
Okay, as in temperature wise. To turn it off, just bring it just past the 0. If you hit, it might not do it now because it just, yeah. So if you hear that now, it's still clicking. I haven't turned it far enough back. It's got its own little battery. If you leave that in that position over a period of time, obviously it will flat the battery and you won't be able to ignite it because you've run the battery down. Okay, so it's got its own little battery.
Definitely wants to be off on the 0.
Yeah, so make sure that's on the 0. You'll hear it clicking, but it's quite easy not to pull it all the way off. Right, this side is your fan, so you've got your vents dotted around your van. So this is your fan. So if I press it to the left side of it, that's your manual fan. Okay, you can hear that. You can obviously, whichever speed you want to do.
Yeah.
You can use the fan on either the heating, so you can run it on when you run it on electric heating, you can have the fan running. If you've got it on the gas side of it, you can still have the fan running, so it's independent.
Right.
And if you've got no heat, you can still have the fan running, so it's just circulating air around the van.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. To the right hand side of it, auto, so that's thermostatic control. So select where you want the speed, and it will go up and down with the heat. Okay. So centres off.
Quite sophisticated, all these ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's maybe probably quite a bit different
From 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
I'm gonna say this is still quite a basic level of systems in the van at the moment. If you go to the new one, you can operate all the systems on an app now, if you really wanted to. It's got central heating in it. There's all sorts of things. You can even get caravans with underfloor heating now with central heating.
Wow.
There's some really technical. These are still a good spec.
Yes.
Still a good spec,
Yeah.
and it's basic. And to be quite honest, I like these because they're a lot easier to use. You get some of these ones that are so complicated you wouldn't believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now this is good base caravan. This. Okay, happy with that?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Thank
Right.
you.
Right,
I'm
next
going to
thing.
struggle to remember everything, but
I know that's one of the things. That's why we offer the camera, because you can look back at it and think, oh.
yes.
Or if you're up on site or any time, we're here 7 days a week. I'm not necessarily here myself 7 days a week.
No, but
There's always someone here 7 days a week. So if you're on site and you think, oh, I don't know how to do this, or you're having problems, give us a call. There's always somebody here. We'll call Ghostbusters, one or two. But there's always someone here on the phone. If you're on site, there's a lot of people who'll help. warden, if you go on the caravan club site, camping caravan club sites, the wardens tend to be caravanners anyway, because that's what they're living in.
Yes.
So if you have any troubles, go and ask them, or
Yes.
your neighbours. There's always experienced
Yes,
people there.
people that will know, yeah.
If you're really struggling.
Well, we had a walk round yesterday, and I mean, you've got a load of new vans and big vans and
Oh,
huge
that's awesome.
awnings.